Welcome to part 76 of Let's Go See John. And this is November the 27th, 2024. And I want to get on back into this word and try to do a little bit more of the reading of the book of John and discussing it. It helps me sometimes just have somebody to talk things out with. And this way I get to sound it out to y'all. If you ever get a thought or something is revealed to you, hit me in the comments and let me know. I would appreciate it. It's good for us to share what things God reveals to us from this word. Anyways, let's get back into Mark 16. Sorry, not Mark. Ooh, there went one over the cuckoo's nest. John 16. Let's recap verse 9 and go on from there. Of sin, because they believe not on me. Of righteousness, because I go to my Father, and you see me no more. Of judgment, because the prince of this world is judged. I have yet many things to say to you, but you cannot bear them now. That means understand them. They couldn't understand them then. However, when He, the Spirit of truth, is come, He will guide you into all truth. For He shall not speak of Himself, but whatsoever He shall hear, that shall He speak. What He hears from the Spirit, what He hears, He will speak. So what we hear from Jesus is what we should be sharing that. His sheep will hear His voice. However, when He, the Spirit of truth, is come, He will guide you into all truth, for He shall not speak of Himself, but whatsoever He shall hear, that shall He speak, and He will show you things to come. He shows me things to come. He told me these things before I even got to read the Word. And now I'm getting to read the Word, and I'm also getting to see them actually fulfill in real living color. Granted, growing up, I saw many things. I saw the end. I saw the bombs, the big bombs and stuff coming. And it wasn't something I ever really wanted to watch the in live action of. I won't lie, because I saw the previews and the prelude of what was to come in visions as I was a child growing up. And I'm talking about a little child, 4 and 5 and 6 and 7 years old, seeing these things. Ronald Reagan was our president. During the time that some of these things were visions I was seeing, and we weren't permitted to watch the news and stuff when we were little. Mom and Daddy kept us in the other room away from it. when they watched the news. They didn't want us to hear about the violence and things at that time that was on TV. They didn't want us as little children to know these things. They didn't want them to scare us. But Ronald Reagan was given some kind of address to the nation one evening. And I was talking to the Lord about the things that I was seeing that was coming. And I was troubled. I was vexed in my spirit. And I needed some peace. And I asked the Lord for that. And He gave me that peace. And He sent me into the living room where I was so quiet that it was easy. No one ever knew when I was around. And so I snuck in and sat down behind the couch and listened and leaned over and was watching around the corner of the couch as Reagan was addressing the nation about nuclear disarmament. And there was some peace. The Lord was giving me some peace for just a little while. I was just a little girl who wanted to grow up. Instead of being blown up by bombs. Because I was young and I didn't understand. And I wanted the chance to grow up and to live for the Lord. And I got to do that. I got to grow up by His grace. But now here we are in this place. And the bombs will eventually drop. The nuclear disarmament peace treaties and agreements are now gone. They're no longer in play. And they will not be signed. They may talk peace, 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 all they want. But they know these things cannot be had until Jesus Himself returns. But these things still must be said because they have to cry peace and safety for the sudden destruction to come. So, going on into verse 14. He shall glorify me, for He shall receive of mine, and shall show it to you. All things that the Father has are mine. Therefore said I, that He shall take of mine, and shall show it to you. All things are Jesus's. They all belong to Jesus. And you can't be an inheritor to that unless you are of Him. He is the door. And if you're rejecting the door and you won't be baptized in His name, you are not keeping the commandments that He gave us to do. You're not following the Word of God. He shall glorify me, for he shall receive of mine and shall show it to you. All things that the Father, now listen to this, all things the Father has are mine. Therefore said I, that he shall take of mine and show it to you. All things that the Father has, all things the Father has are mine. Therefore said I, that he shall take of mine and shall show it to you. A little while, and you shall not see me. And again a little while, and you shall see me, because I go to the Father. Then said some of the disciples amongst themselves, what is this that he says to us? A little while, and you shall not see me. And again a little while, and you shall see me. And because I go to the Father. They said, therefore, what is this? He says, a little while. We cannot tell what he says. They said, therefore, what is this that he says? A little while, we cannot tell what he says. Now, they were reasoning, trying to understand, what's he talking about? Now Jesus knew that they were desirous to ask him, and said to them, do you inquire amongst yourselves of that I said, a little while, and you shall not see me? And again a little while, and you shall see me? Verily, verily, I say to you, that you shall weep and lament, but the world shall rejoice, and you shall be sorrowful, but your sorrow shall be turned into joy. Well, let me tell you, I've been weeping and lamenting. I miss his presence. I know y'all ain't gonna understand that, but I miss his presence being in this world like it used to be. It's not here like it was before. It really isn't. I'll see you in the next part. when I get a chance to get it up, but I gotta get some rest. I gotta work tomorrow. Love ya. Keep Acts 2:38. Acts 19, 1 through 6.